Good morning and welcome to the Core Connection. I'm Mira Rubin here with you on Enlightened World Network. And today's topic is the holidays. The holidays are promoted as this wonderful, joyful time of year and time of family and celebration. And the fact is that lots of people don't have the richness of family, the relationships in family that are collectively celebrated, or they're experiencing tremendous hardship. And with all the festivities of the holidays, those hardships are cast in a much more stark light. And so the holidays can be a tremendously difficult time for many people. And I thought it would be great to talk about that, since Christmas is coming over the weekend and New Year's is on the horizon. So good morning, Rosalind. Welcome. It's great to have you here with us, and great to be here with all of you. And before we get started talking about the holidays, let's just take a minute or two to get present. So let's take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And imagine clean, crisp oxygen flooding your lungs, flowing into your bloodstream, nourishing all your cells, all your organs, bringing vital life energy to your body and being. And as you exhale any tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And let's take another deep breath in through your nose and hold it. This time, imagine brilliant, bright light, lighting you up from the inside out, illuminating, electrifying, and energizing all your cells, all your molecules, your electrons, and creating a brilliant beam of light and energy from your heart out into the world. And as you exhale any remaining tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's press our palms together. Rub those hands together vigorously. Feel the temperature, the pressure, the friction, the tickling and tingling when you stop, and allow all those sensations to bring you present right here and right now into this remarkable physical form that enables you to experience life. Welcome. So, the holidays. I know that when I was growing up and feeling very challenged in my relationships with family and in my place in the world, and just moving through very difficult emotional times, the holidays were brutal. Because here are all these people celebrating and seeming so joyful, and that just created a much greater contrast for me in the experience of life that I was inhabiting at the time. And I know that that is a real prevalent thing. It's not uncommon that while this is the holidays are promoted as a joyous, joyful time, celebratory time, it's not necessarily. And part of that ties in with our consumerism too. So the holidays are time for gift giving, and that often goes kind of crazily awry into consumer excess and overextending ourselves to meet other people's expectations of generosity or abundance, or money becomes a big issue for many people in this season particularly. It was interesting. I was privy to a conversation of parents with the child who wanted to wipe out their savings account to buy gifts for friends, and there was the encouragement to create a gift, to make something, to write a poem, to do something that had a much more personalized touch and much more personalized meaning than just going and buying stuff. And so the holidays, we can reframe these things. We can create new meaning for the holidays for ourselves, to find places of gratitude rather than getting swept up in the at least the Western culture norm of materialism. And if we're not in a great place with our families or friends, then maybe we can cultivate some rich personal rituals that will feed our souls, to give ourselves extra nurturance in terms of compassion and care and presence. It's fascinating to me. I'm not a humbug person at all, and I know how painful the holidays had been for me in the past. So Rosalind says, I don't decorate, and when I do, it's because it's expected. I'm aware of not needing to, and I pour in the love around sharing food. So what you're saying is I don't decorate, and when I do, it's because it's expected. So we are very much at the sway of other people's expectations, in so many ways. And I think one of the ways that those expectations really hold influence is because we don't speak into them. I know that having the courage to speak into them and say, like making a declaration to say, you know what, I'm not decorating this year. And instead of putting my energy to that, I am putting my energy into cooking delicious things to share so that we can have wonderful times together, or so that we can connect more deeply, or, when there are expectations, rather than just complying with them reluctantly, maybe we get to address them directly. Maybe we can use the holidays to deepen our connections with our own authenticity and our own values. And then, regardless of the externalities, we can create this as an enriching moment. And the thing is that the holidays, there is some arbitrariness about it, right? Like, whether we're celebrating on a weekend or a Friday or a Monday, or like these things move around, and there's some arbitrariness about it, right? And then here, this whole social matrix is kind of dictating the normative behavior. And when these times, with the holiday cards, with the happy families and the updates of all the triumphs, and if you're not experiencing those things, it casts such a huge contrast that can be very painful if we feel an obligation or responsibility to be um, comparing ourselves. And it's can be very challenging not to compare ourselves, to say, wow, everything's going so great for them, and my life is a dumpster fire right now. Like that's often what happens, is that we see this greater contrast. I love, Rosalind, that you said that you're pouring the love into sharing food. Food is such a wonderful way to share love and cultural experience and time together. And also around this time of year, it's crazy, right? People are making their New Year's resolutions and deciding they're gonna lose all this weight, and they're gonna, so food also can be one of these hairy um type ways of sharing, like a bit of a difficult path with people with all these different dietary requirements. And it's we navigate such um interesting paths and set up these social mores that in is celebrating is great, and having designated times to celebrate, creates sort of a collective um field, which can be very lovely. And it also can be exceedingly painful to folks that aren't um, aren't in a great way. And so this holiday, I'm wondering if maybe we can encourage ourselves and each other to bring compassion. And maybe there are people in your lives that um, might not have the surrounding family. Maybe you can reach out and send some love, and be an ear, perhaps. And by the way, if y'all are wanting to participate in this conversation and you're putting comments in and I'm not responding, it's because I don't see them. So if you go to the Enlightened World Network Facebook page or YouTube channel, you can put comments in there and I should be able to see them, and then I can respond. So this whole notion of contrast, when someone is having a really hard time, when they're depressed and everybody else seems to be so happy around them, it can throw an even deeper light on the darkness, or rather make the darkness even darker, is what I'm addressing here, really. And it can be very tough and isolating and lonely. And so I encourage you to think of the people that aren't surrounded by loving families right now, and reach out, reach out and share some of that love you have, and help to uplift those folks. Even just a text sometimes, a text that's laden with your love can make such a profound impact for somebody, to know that they're not alone, to know that somebody cares and somebody's thinking of them. And even the smallest things can make a difference. So Rosalind says it's a good time to write cards, but then I don't. I still have cards from last year that I didn't send out. A text. That's a great idea. So yeah, I'm not a card person either, but you know, with texts, there are all kinds of animated gifs and things that you can send, and a heartfelt message. And you know, that can be more immediate, or a voicemail, you know, to say, like I left a voicemail for somebody the other day, just to say, I just want you to know I'm thinking of you and I love, 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 love you. And they texted me back and said, wow, that was just, it made my day. It was made such a difference to receive that, you know, to receive that from kind of nowhere. And as you know, people that are regularly in your life, but also people that you might not have been in communication with for a while. And Fen Ho, welcome. I don't think I've ever seen you here before. It's great to have you here. And Fen says, thank you for your love for all. Well, you know, we're all one. That brought up so much emotion just now. Yeah, this is becoming a deeper and deeper awareness for me that we are truly all connected, that we are inextricably connected to one another. And as we can have compassion for ourselves, we can have greater compassion for others as well. You know, when we're not self-accepting, we're also very judgmental of others. When we're self-punishing, we're punishing to others. And I've seen this over and over with the folks that I work with in my coaching practice, that as we become more whole, as we become more accepting of ourselves and more compassionate and loving, we become more compassionate and loving with others and accepting with others as well. And Rosalind says oneness. Yeah, I mean, when we recognize that I am a reflection of you and you are a reflection of me, then, you know, we truly do live in a house of mirrors where we mirror one another. We mirror ourselves in each other. And I think that also in this season, there is often a sense of enforced gaiety, you know, meaning we're supposed to be happy and light. And so we try to put on that face. And while it can give us a distraction, that can be a wonderful thing. And sometimes it just feels like we're putting on a show. And I think stepping into our deepest authenticity is really an important thing. So Rosalind says, I had lots of fun using Jib Jab. They're personalized animations using a cutout of your head, bobbly head, singing songs. So that sounds like fun. That could brighten somebody's day, right? So, you know, the rather than false or exaggerated gaiety, and what if we have real connections? What if we have real conversation? You know, what if rather than the superficial grandstanding sometimes, like I have to make it look like my life is great right now. What if we're just real with each other? Welcome, Jenny. So good to have you here with us. And we're talking, so Jenny says, those are nice. I think thinking about Jib Jab. I never tried it. Sounds like it could be a cool thing. But what if we, even in our own darkness or despair, what if we take that opportunity to reach out to people and say, you know what, I'm thinking about you. I love you. And I'm sending, Jenny says real connections. Exactly. So some people call it lowering the waterline, or just like really being real, being compassionate, and saying, wow, this is a time of mixed feelings for so many people. And a lot of people experience a lot of social pressure in the time of the holidays to be happy, or to perform in certain ways, to participate in family gatherings, to in a certain way, to be buying gifts for all these different people, or to be putting on a face. And I'm wondering what might be available to us if we can connect with our deeper love and compassion, and really have an intention that this be a time of authentic connection. That we allow ourselves to connect to gratitude, rather than necessarily the consumerism, the cultural routine of this season. What if we can just give of our hearts in a more authentic way? I don't think that there's really any bigger gift than that. It's the gift of true connection. Oh, Jenny, it's awesome to see you so excited about your new baby granddaughter. That's wonderful. And that's like, what a gift, what a beautiful thing to bring into this season, and new vitality in your heart and soul. So really, we can use this time as a time of deepening. We can use any time as a time of deepening, right? But there are occasions that prompt that to be more of a collective experience, and maybe we can transform this time period into something that is enriching on a deeper level, on an emotional and spiritual level, on a level of connection with self and others. And do take the time to find that connection in your heart and reach out to people that you care about, to let them know that you do. You never know how life-changing that can be. And Jenny says, I'll be alone for Christmas. And the thing is, Jenny, I think that there are lots of people who will be. And not that makes your aloneness any different, but I invite you to reach out to people that you care about, and maybe people that you don't have that much contact with, and cultivate that connection from your heart to theirs. And that can help to shift things. Who knows, maybe maybe you won't be alone. You expect to be at this moment, but maybe you won't. Maybe there's a circumstance that may present itself where you can connect with other people, or even connect with other people over Zoom, or, as we were saying, send texts or voice messages and cultivate the connection with other people within yourself too. I think that's where it starts. That sounds kind of like my Christmas, Jenny. No presents or gathering, just going to ignore that it's Christmas. And you can do that, and maybe even create a new experience of Christmas for yourself. Like define a new context for what Christmas can be to you, and maybe create rituals for yourself to connect with your heart and soul, to be nurturing to yourself. And I think that there are many of us that have would benefit from that experience now, or certainly would have benefited from it in the past, to use it as a time to go inward, or for a place of self-discovery, or a place of finding gratitude, or something that is going to help lift us. It is a time of kind of a celebration of magic in its way, right? And we have the ability to create that kind of magic for ourselves. And I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that when we're ooh, watercoloring, beautiful, Jenny, that's awesome. So like to do something that is creative, that is nurturing, that is fulfilling, that's a gift. So that's gifting yourself with something that's meaningful and profound. And Rosalind says, using the time to set the intention and what you would want to feel or seeing yourself doing. Mira, I hope you talk again about resolutions. Yeah, we'll talk about resolutions coming closer to the new year. And thank you for that request, Rosalind. Because, yeah, that's a whole big topic in and of itself, isn't it? And I look forward to having these conversations with you every weekday morning here on the Enlightened World Network Facebook page and YouTube channel, and at 9 a.m. Eastern. Hello, Bernadette. Welcome. And I wish you all a gentle, enriching, compassionate holiday that you fill with love for yourself and others. And I look forward to seeing you next week. And in the meantime, Dido, happy. I'm so glad to have you here with us. That's beautiful. And it's just a joy to be with all of you. So wishing you all the best. Until next time, lots and lots and lots of love.